It's just so ludicrous to judge that fight like that. We all know who won that fight, so they decided to do it again. Hey there, it's another edition of Coffee with the Goose. Thank you so much for joining me for another show. Going to talk boxing again, give you my opinion again. I'm really riled up for this one, as I'm sure many of you are. But before we do that, let's get a little coffee, shall we? My coffee, very strong, like my opinion, and got to sweeten it up, right? Sweetener in there to make it sweet. Did I say that too often? When you're as sweet as I am, you can't use the word sweet too much, right? Okay, well, maybe not. Here we go. All right. Let's talk about another rematch that may be coming soon. They're negotiating, okay? And talk about why, boxing is such a horribly, many times, horribly corrupt sport. Very, very dirty. Triple G and Canelo. Okay, they fought twice. Canelo Alvarez, the great middleweight champion of the world from Mexico, and Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, and he has only lost once as well. And they went at it twice. Okay, and they're talking about doing it again, maybe in September of this year. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But let's backtrack and remind ourselves exactly just how bad this can be when you put anything in the hands of judges, okay? Whether it be boxing or politics. These two guys, great, both of them I respect very much as fighters. They went at it the first time in 2017, okay? And it was a draw. Now, it should not have been a draw. You look at the CompuBox numbers, and I know that's not all. You can't judge a fight entirely by CompuBox, because that can be a little bit questionable too, but it's the best I got. Plus, I watched the fight. There's no question that Gennady Golovkin won that fight. No question. The CompuBox numbers bear that out. Canelo threw 505 punches and landed 169. Okay? Canelo Alvarez threw 200 more punches, 703, and landed, let's see if I can do the math here, 49 more punches, 218. So it wasn't even close. It was a clear-cut victory for Gennady Golovkin, right? No, not according to the judges. One of the judges, I believe, scored it 114, a draw. Another one judged it 115-113 for Golovkin, okay? And the third one, and I can't remember the name of the judge, look it up. I'm sure this individual has some history of questionable decisions. Judged this fight 118-110 in favor of Canelo Alvarez. What is that, 9 rounds to 3 or 10 rounds to 2? You have got to be kidding me. What? Not what are you smoking, what are you drinking, but how much were you paid off to do that? Are you related to the guy? I mean, it's just so ludicrous to judge that fight like that. And so it was a draw. And again, we all know who won that fight. So they decided to do it again. It was scheduled for May of 2018. And everything was hunky-dory, peachy keen, we're ready to go. And got a little issue here. Alvarez failed a drug test. It was clenbuterol. I looked it up, and it's not just to get cure headaches. I mean, this is clearly gives you an edge, and many boxers have been caught using this drug. So Alvarez, of course, did not admit guilt, and none of them do. And the Nevada Athletic Commission gave him a 6-month suspension. Okay. So, after 6 months, they decided to have a second fight. That was in September of 2018. And again, although maybe not as clearly as the first fight, I thought, Triple G won that fight too. No question. Clear cut, plain as the nose on your face. He won that fight. No, he didn't. Who am I? How foolish of me to assume such things.
You're the goose.
Yeah, I'm the goose. Who am I? No, shame on me. You know, they judged that one a victory for Canelo. And again, the judges' scorecards were eerily similar to the first one. I believe it was 114-114. One judge had it a draw. The other two, 115-113 in favor of Canelo Alvarez. And again, the CompuBox numbers are on my side with this. Not as clear as the first one, but still pretty clear. Canelo threw 622 punches and landed 202. Again, Triple G threw over 200 more punches than Canelo did, 839. So he was far more active in not just throwing, but landing punches in the first fight. He landed 234. So, you know, busier, more aggressive, more effective. You know, there's no question he won that fight too. But no, they gave that one to Canelo Alvarez. It never ceases to amaze me. And we've seen this with other fights throughout the years. I was just mentioning to my producer, Jude, Pacquiao is a great example. He's had 2 or 3 robberies. The first one was Timothy Bradley, who's a great fighter. I love Timothy Bradley. They gave him the decision erroneously in their first fight, and then Pacquiao proceeded to embarrass him the next 2 fights. And then it was that absolute stone cold robbery in Australia where Jeff Horn was given the victory over Pacquiao. And, in the one of the later rounds, the referee actually came up to Jeff Horn's corner and said, hey, I'm going to call this fight if you don't start throwing more punches. He was beating him silly. And look at his face after the fight. So there again, robbery. And it's not just Pacquiao. We've seen this with other fighters in the past. And here, Canelo Alvarez gets the victory in one and a draw in the other. Gennady Golovkin, great fighter, robbed twice within a year by the same fighter. Utterly ridiculous. So they're talking about doing it again. I don't know where this fight would be. And I don't know why, other than, the usual, reasons for corruption. It's money, of course. But other than that, I don't know why anybody, what has Triple G done to anybody? He's always been very respectful. He's not a cheap shot artist. He's never been caught with, banned substances like Alvarez was. He's never done anything wrong. He's a schoolboy. Give me a break. But no, they decide to rob him twice. Hopefully that won't happen again. Negotiations are underway right now. And the funny thing about Canelo Alvarez, again, I like him. Respect for all Mexican fighters. He's an absolute monster, future Hall of Famer. But when you get to be as successful as he is, and you're an undefeated, unified, undisputed champion, you get a little cocky. And he has been. I've heard this from, Ryan Garcia. He came down on Ryan Garcia for some reason, and a couple of other guys. He's pretty full of himself, Good for you, Canelo Alvarez. You're a champion. You guys, do whatever you want to do, but why you get the breaks and Triple G gets robbed, I don't know. And I'm sure some of our great Mexican viewers will take me to task for this. I don't know what you can say to change my mind. If you watch that fight with honest eyes as I and gazillions of other people have, it's true that Triple G won both of those fights. Anyhow, we'll see what happens. We'll get the official word here fairly soon. I think they're talking it over right now, and I look forward to it. I don't know whether I want to pay for it. I don't want to shell out more money for another debacle. So we'll see. Alvarez and Triple G, another fight, another war coming. Let's hope so. We'll keep you updated. And that's it for this edition of Coffee with the Goose. Let me know what you think. Love to get your comments. You're a very knowledgeable, passionate crowd. And I'll learn a thing or two from you guys. I will grant you that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And we'll talk to you again soon.